let's have a very comprehensive idea, at least a brief idea about the huge Indian knowledge system. How huge is Indian knowledge system? You will be glad to know that in UK, there is one library. There is one 40,000 page. What is this 40,000 page book? This 40,000 page book is the index of the Indian knowledge system. Index, not the books. The index. How many pages? 40,000 pages. So that means there are 40 volumes of 1,000 page each, just to describe the Indian knowledge system. So that means it is huge. It is very, very vast. Indian knowledge system. Of course, we should have such institutes. There are some institutes, they try to follow Indian knowledge system, but not exactly knowing what to do, what exactly to be taught under the topic of Indian knowledge system. Like there was one school, it was based on Ramayana. So there was one invigilator, he came to investigate what do they teach and what is their current status, because the school is based on Ramayana. So he randomly entered one class. So there he asked the students, okay students, who broke the bow of Lord Shiva? And then, yes, okay, anyone, okay, you tell me. He said, sir, I did not break. Okay, I'm just asking a simple question. Who broke the bow of Lord Shiva? He said, okay, did you break? So who broke the bow of Lord Shiva? He said, no, sir, I did not break. Sir, mark kasam. Sir, maine nahi thoda, sir. I did not break, sir. I did not break, sir. And then this invigilator said, teacher, what's this? Students are not able to answer a simple question that who broke the bow of Lord Shiva? He said, sir, whosoever has broken, we'll have the committee. Don't worry, sir. Hey, that's the condition of the teacher. And then he went to the principal. So principal, the teacher said, we'll have the committee. But, we'll make another one. Why are you so much worried? So such a simple question. Who broke the bow of Lord Shiva? Lord Ram broke the bow of Lord Shiva, as per Ramayana. So we should know the nitty-gritties of Indian knowledge system. And then you will see that you will be immensely benefited, because India has been the hub of knowledge. Like there was one industrial revolution during the 30s and 40s. There was industrial revolution, which was having its origin in USA, America. But that collapsed. Why? Because it was a very power-centric industrial revolution model. But then came another industrial revolution model, which came from China, which was more focused on empowering people. But that also collapsed after 30, 40 years. That also collapsed. And now those who are the market experts are looking for a right kind of model, the business model for everyday life. And they were not able to find out the answer, what kind of business model would work. So when people do not have answers to their questions, they come to India, because India has got answer to all kind of questions. And then doing research in various avenues in India, they found out there's one very special relationship between guru and disciple. This person, guru, whom they saw as an employer, and disciple, who is actually employee, this employer doesn't give any salary, no perks, no yearly increment. Despite that, this disciple was so dedicated to guru. How come? And then they found out the very important aspect in this very unique relationship of guru and disciple was inspiration. The disciple gets inspiration from guru. And that's why the disciple is sold out. But from where he gets inspiration? So not understanding that actually inspiration comes from purity, the purity of guru, the immense knowledge of guru. From that comes inspiration in the disciple. Not able to understand that, they were trying to get inspiration by having various kind of facilities, more perks, more comforts. They started giving that, and they thought that this would give inspiration. But actually inspiration comes from purity, from knowledge of guru. But his Indian knowledge system is more driven by values. The guru should have value, not just knowledge, but should have values. Like nowadays we are talking about India, skilled India. We should have people who are very skillful. So should we have skillful India? Yes, of course we should have skillful India. But in case if I do not have values, then what will happen? I'll misuse the skills. Like earlier, people used to hire people with best of IQ. Who have best of IQ, you would hire. But then they found out that people who best of IQ, they do best of scams, because they're intelligent people. Now what to do? So now the industry experts, they came up with a new psychometric test, which is based on EQ, emotional quotient. That means people should have values, humanity, empathy, connection. That's more important. We'll teach them skills, but more important is to have values. And that's why they used to have focus on, or they would have psychometric tests based on EQ, emotional quotient. But there was one more problem. Sometimes people who are emotional, they are overwhelmed by emotions and they are not able to focus on work. Some tragedy happens and ups and downs in life, and then, I just can't focus. Why me? Why me? Oh, so sweet. So sometimes emotions are so overwhelming that they are not able to focus. Now what to do? We had IQ. When we had psychometric tests based on IQ, we had best of scams. Now we had EQ. Now EQ is good, but sometimes people are so much overwhelmed by emotions that they can't focus on what they should be doing. So then they came up with a new psychometric test parameter, which was SQ. SQ stands for spiritual quotient. So IQ can you manage with EQ, and EQ can you manage by SQ. Spiritual quotient will manage emotional quotient, and emotional quotient will manage intelligence quotient. This is the complete holistic IKS, Indian knowledge system. So it's not just about skills. It's about empathy, humanity, connection, feelings, values, and they all are governed by and empowered by SQ, which is spiritual quotient. So very important aspect of Indian knowledge system is bringing the aspect of spirituality. When you bring God as the center of anything, then whole thing becomes very graceful. When people fight on the name of religion, actually see, religion is not the focus, it's the power. I want the power. So those who are power hungry, they on the name of religion, they cause war. But it's not the religion which causes war. It is power hungry people who have lust for power. They bring war. And that's why we tend to avoid religion. Religion causes war. Wherever there is religion, so on. But it's not the religion. It's a lust for power which brings war. And sometimes that's why in the name of being secular, we keep aside spirituality. Let's be secular and keep aside spirituality. Keep aside religiosity. But no. We should take out the thorns of power-hungry attitude from this religiosity and spirituality will actually make us happy. So in Indian knowledge system, we focus on spirituality as well. SQ, EQ, IQ. This whole thing is present in Indian knowledge system. Along with that, especially focusing on values, why is it important? Why? In everyday life, most important is, apart from becoming an engineer or a doctor or any kind of profession, ultimately we need good human beings in this world. Who wants a person who is very bossy in nature? No one. Who wants an arrogant, egoistic person in their life? No one. We all want to have humble people, tolerant people, accommodating people, forgiving people. We all want that. So Indian knowledge system focuses on values. Like you might have heard about two gurus. One is Shukracharya, one is Brihaspati. Brihaspati is known as guru of the demigods. Devi Devtaon ke guru kaun? Brihaspati. But Shukracharya is guru of the demons. And in knowledge, Shukracharya is more knowledgeable. In knowledge. But Brihaspati was chosen as the guru of the demigods because he had values. So in knowledge also, what is more important are the values. So Indian knowledge system is focusing more on values. And not just values, but holistic upgradation in one's personality. That's there because of in Indian knowledge system. Like for example, about clear pronunciation. Sanskrit is very good for clear pronunciation. People used to have Sanskrit because when they would recite the verses, while reciting the verses, your palate undergoes all different kind of permutation and combination. In this way, there is more clarity in your diction. When you speak, there is more clarity. Like for example, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishyami Maschaha. All kinds of permutation combination of your tongue touching the upper palate, the side palate, the lower palate, inside the throat and outside as well. All kinds of permutation combination are there, and that's why there is clarity in diction. Whenever you speak, there's more clarity because Sanskrit, it gives clarity. Also, Sanskrit makes your memory good. When you memorize the verses, that makes your memory good. Who wants to have good memory? None of you. You want to have poor memory? We all want to have good memory. And it is scientifically proven fact that those people who recite verses, as you see some of the schools, the Vedic schools, they recite the verses. And there is a certain meter. There is Chanda Shastra. That means you have to recite in a certain way. And you do that all together. In Indian knowledge system, the way they retain knowledge was by succession. How? Because they recite. In all the students they recite. And there is a certain meter to it. It's anushtup. There's a meter to it. Dinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina maradena kirtaniya sadahari. Now this is anushtup. So when we speak chandas in a certain meter and we all do it together, they all memorize. Even one of them is not reciting nicely. He gets corrected. Oh, I should speak not that word but this word. Oh. The books were written later on. This knowledge was retained in Indian knowledge system by reciting together, reciting. And by that your diction is clear, your intellect becomes sharp and your memory becomes incredible just by doing this. So Sanskrit means cultured. Those who are cultured will say, oh, he बहुत ही संस्कृत व्यक्ति है, सुसंस्कृत व्यक्ति है. So it's a language of cultured people, Sanskrit. But somehow, because there was influence of the Western civilization, Western culture, Western education, and that's why we lost our focus on this amazing language, Sanskrit. Loads and loads of knowledge in a very condensed form can be presented in Sanskrit. If you see any verse in Sanskrit, when it gets translated, there are 4 or 5 lines in translation. But how can only these 16 words, 16 letters, they had this meaning in them? How is it possible? Because Sanskrit has the power to accommodate huge amount of knowledge in less number of words. That's Sanskrit. So Indian knowledge system used to have Sanskrit as a language. You would converse in Sanskrit. Now we are afraid of Sanskrit. Oh, it is very difficult language. No doubt it is difficult language. But once you start learning it, it's awesome language. Very intellectual language. There is vernacular Sanskrit, is also written English. Written Sanskrit. Vernacular Sanskrit as well as written Sanskrit. At least verbally we should try to speak a little bit here and there. We should try to. Sanskrit, amazing language. So in terms of language, it is awesome. It is also being considered for writing computer data because it cannot be misinterpreted. Why? Sanskrit keeps the knowledge very integral. And that's why Sanskrit is being considered for that. Apart from this, mathematics. Mathematics should be taught. The faster mathematics, Vedic mathematics, that is also part of Indian knowledge system. That should also be there. And in Indian knowledge system, even to defend yourself, there used to be the military sciences. Like Bodhidharma, he came with this Kalyani Pattu. In case you want to defend yourself, you should know this basic art to defend yourself. This art, when went to China, it became Kung Fu, Karate, martial arts. But originally, this art has its origin in India, Kalyani Pattu. Who has heard the name of Vidyut Jambal? A great Bollywood actor. Now he is known as the role model for this fighting art. But it all originated in India. So Indian knowledge system, it gives you values, knowledge, it gives you good memory, clarity in your diction. It also gives you art of self-defense, that's also there. And you see, that's why Indians are having the grip on knowledge all across the globe. Like when Indians, when they go to USA, they are the most qualified people when they go to USA. Because Indians, they have the template of acquiring knowledge. You know what's the national average of graduates in USA of Indians? It's 78%. 78% Indians in USA, they are graduates. And national average of the Americans in America is 40% only. Indians 78%. National average of postgraduates in USA is 28%. And national average of Americans in America is 3% postgraduates. So in terms of knowledge, who are more equipped to acquire knowledge? Indians. Every country is governed by a certain planetary system, so a certain planet. Like Europe is governed more by Venus, Shukra. And Shukra is more for enjoyment. And that's why we see Europe is mostly into sensuality. Bhog, vilas, enjoy, have fun. Like USA falls under Rahu, hypocrisy, duplicity, being double-faced. That's USA. It is under the influence of Rahu. You know which planet influences India? Any guess? Guru. Guru. And that's why India is a place where we have maximum number of universities, maximum number of schools. Here we have best of universities, like this one, we have many universities. People come all across the globe to come to India and learn. The toughest education system is Indian education system. Whether it is medical sciences or mathematics or whatever. India is so comprehensive in acquiring knowledge because Indians are meant to acquire knowledge. And that's why all the big companies are having their elite posts. They are controlled by Indians. Knowledge. In Silicon Valley, 40% of programmers, coders, designers are Indians. Why? Because we Indians are meant for knowledge. The whole vibration is that of knowledge. The whole culture is that of knowledge. But somehow we have forgotten our Indian knowledge system and we are copying the West. Western knowledge system is so hollow and shallow. Very hollow and shallow. And that's why we see that Westerners, they are more deductive in their knowledge. That means they would do experiment and then they would realize something. But in Indian knowledge system, we have the perfect knowledge. Now you have to realize it by practicing it. That's the difference between the Western knowledge system and Indian knowledge system. Here everything is absolute, just like Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, there is no revised edition, upgraded edition, second edition. No. 700 verses, absolute. Now when you keep learning it, you acquire the knowledge and you keep practicing it and then it becomes Gyan, becomes Vigyan. In Indian knowledge system, there is Gyan as well as Vigyan. That means there is theoretical knowledge as well as there is practical knowledge, realized knowledge. How can knowledge be realized? When we practice it. When knowledge comes into action. So that knowledge in action is realized knowledge. So we should not just have theoretical knowledge. Jnana Vijnana Sahitam. We should have knowledge, realized knowledge. Both should be there. But first will come what? Knowledge or Vijnanam? First will come knowledge. Then realized knowledge. First Jnanam. And then will come Vijnanam. So we should acquire theoretical knowledge also. That's required. But then we should also live it. Like earlier we used to have gurukuls, but they were more close to nature. And as we were more close to nature, that's why basic remedies were known to everyone. Say somebody's having a cough, somebody's having joint pain. Okay, you take this particular leaf, boil it, and drink the nectar. That has got medicinal effect. Basic doctor knowledge, medical knowledge was known to everyone. In case there is some serious ailment, then you go to Vaidji. But basic ailments, we all know. But nowadays, we do not know that. Even for a little cough, we go to doctor and then the doctor will recommend something. But small amount of knowledge, that beginning level knowledge about medicine should be known to everyone. That's practical knowledge. Cooking should be known to everyone, not just the ladies. Men should also know cooking. Because in case you are in a mode of survival, then you need cooking. Cook karne ke liye koi bhi nahi, there is no one to cook for you. Then, well, I'm a crook, I can't cook. No. We should know this basic art of cooking. We should know that. Everyone, boys or girls, everyone should know that. We should spend time more closer to nature. And then we will see that we will have more sensitivity. More we go away from nature, more we are closer to gadgets. You know these gadgets? Dangerous gadgets. Since the time these gadgets have come, our focus has gone up or gone down. Since the time mobile phone has come, our focus has gone up or gone down? Down. Our focus has gone down. You know the attention span. In the year 2002, our attention span was 8 minutes. And at that time, the entity which has the smallest attention span is goldfish, which is of 9 seconds. And since the time the gadgets came in our lives in 2022, 2023, there was one survey. As per the survey, our attention span has come down to 8 seconds. We have defeated goldfish. Now gold medal is not with goldfish. Now gold medal is with us. We are the most distracted species on the planet. Give a clap. Now, could you understand what I am saying? I said that we are the most distracted species on the planet. And I say clap, and then you clapped also. Apni hi bejati mein kaun taali bajata bhai? We have lost focus. Try to understand. We have lost focus. I told you to clap on your own misfortune. And you clapped also. Strange. That we are the most distracted species. We can't focus. We can't listen. We can't understand. We are struggling. Clap, and then we clap. Okay, someone. Oh my God. So these gadgets are destroying us. There is a good way to use technology and also there is a misuse. We are expert in use or misuse. We are expert in misuse. And that's why we see that children, they are not having any knowledge. In India, currently 43% youth is unemployable, not unemployed. They are unemployable. तुमको कुछ आता है? क्या आता है तुमको? क्या तुमने? कंप्यूटर साइंस. अच्छा, कंप्यूटर साइंस. क्या सीखा कंप्यूटर साइंस में? C++, जावा, मर जावा. आता ही नहीं है कुछ. Why? Because I'm busy scrolling the reels. Very good. इस पे ताली बजाए. We are busy scrolling reels. इस पे ताली बजाए भाई साहब. Very good. This shows that we are so distracted. We are so distracted. So that's why there used to be also meditation as part of Indian knowledge system. Because when you do meditation, whether in form of pranayam, when we do meditation, it increases our attention span. When we chant the names of God, it increases our attention span. So meditation was part of curriculum. Meditation was not a luxury. Yeah, once they are done with their education, then later on they meditate. No. Meditation was part of it. In the morning, everyone would do meditation for half an hour. They would do that. And by doing this meditation, then they are ready to acquire knowledge. Otherwise, we are coming from the place full of distraction, and then we sit in the class, and then again we are distracted. Teacher is teaching, we can't understand. Okay, teacher, you go on, and we also go on. What are we doing? So that used to be part of education system, doing meditation, doing some menial services. Like those who are studying in Gurukul, they would, in Gurukul, first they would clean Gurukul. First half an hour, no sweeper, no cleaner, no. Students will clean the Gurukul. They would broom, they would mop, they would do everything. Like Japan has taken this from Indian knowledge system. Students, when they come to their schools, sweeper and cleaner will not clean the school. Students will clean the school, including the toilets. They would put the harpic, they would have the brush to clean it, they would do it. First half an hour is for cleaning our institution where we study. That makes us humble. I can't say, I'm from very rich background, I can't do such an activity. Oh, please. Oh, that's arrogance. That's ego. But when we broom, and all together we are doing it, irrespective whether your father is a rich guy or a poor guy, rich dad, poor dad, excuse me, irrespective of that, you are to clean the floor, you are to clean the toilet, do it. And there's a roster also, not that every day same student is cleaning the toilet, no. 1 week you clean the toilet, now next week somebody else will clean the toilet. Do that. That brings humility, vinamrata. That's the thing. So we should do that. Like one of the Kurukuls we have, there where the students are enrolled. So what teacher would do, ask them that, okay, you study first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. After 1 week, I will play atheist. You have to defend God. And then teacher plays atheist. God does not exist. And you would give various kind of logics. And the students are to defeat the teacher. Then how God exists. So by defending God, by explaining God, whose faith is becoming deeper? The student's faith is becoming deeper. He said, okay, I'll challenge you. Next time I'll come, I'll challenge all of you. Are you ready? I'll tell you that how God does not exist. It starts with a big bang. That's it. There was a bang. From singularity came this universe and all that. There was no God. Now, cut it down with your arguments. Destroy my arguments. And in this way, we cultivate values in them. They become more God believing, God loving. We have to bring that value. Like students, they would also have outdoor activity. And they would serve poor people. They would make the food and they would also distribute the food to the poor people. They would do that. So these kind of values are to be inculcated in their everyday life. Like Vastu Shastra, it was part of Indian knowledge system. How your home should be. What should be in east, what should be in west, what should be in north, what should be in south. That's Vastu Shastra. We should know. That's practical knowledge. Because Vastu Shastra deals with the energies of this Prakriti. When we are not in line with Prakriti, your health will go down. When you align yourself with Prakriti, your health is good. So Indian knowledge system also talks about Vastu Shastra. That means you align yourself with Prakriti, with nature. In this way, you take benefit of nature. Instead of going against nature, having bad health, having bad financial status, you upgrade yourself by Vastu Shastra. There are prayers. Like we have Gurukul in ISKCON Vrindavan, we have one Gurukul. And there we teach yoga. 1 hour of yoga, so that physical well-being is also important. I see many boys, they are young and they have tummy coming out. hey, kaise ho gaye? How come this post-paid connection? Because they're sitting, and that's it. Sedentary lifestyle. But ideally, men should go out, do some farming, have a bull, have some cows, and then harvest the field. And by doing that, physically become stout, and also you are closer to nature. But students would do that. Like we hear about Krishna and Sudama. They were there in Gurukul, and they were sent by Guru Mata, go and collect woods. They would go, although it was very stormy weather, but still they went and brought woods for serving Guru, for everyone, so that there can be cooking done in the Gurukul. But doing these kind of activities also, it makes you more humble, it makes you more service oriented. That's Indian knowledge system. It's not very bookish. Also, you have to acquire knowledge as per your nature. Like in Indian knowledge system, there is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Now people take it, oh, that's a caste system, oh, that's caste system, high class and low class. Brahmanas are high class, Shudras are low class. Oh. But that's not Indian knowledge system. Indian knowledge system means you acquire knowledge as per your nature. What is your nature? What do you want to do? What is the knowledge which attracts you? Which kind of knowledge? What is your nature? Your psycho-physical nature. So Indian knowledge system teaches you as per your nature. You want to be a teacher? Yes. I want to acquire knowledge and give knowledge. That means you're Brahminical in nature. You're a teacher, you're an educator. In case you want to be a manager, you want to be an administrator, that means your nature is that of being a Kshatriya. It's not as per birth, it's as per the nature. You have the nature to be an administrator, a manager. That means by nature you are a Kshatriya. In case you want to be a business class man, a mercantile guy, that means you are Vaishya by nature. Not Vaishya, but Vaishya by nature. Business class. Then there is Shudra. Shudra means anyone who executes a task. He's a Shudra. Even a computer engineer is also Shudra because he executes a task. He does programming, coding. He's a Shudra. It's not about low class. Oh, Shudra. Ram, Shudra. It was not about that. Anyone who lives on salary is known as Shudra. Anyone who lives on profit is known as Vaishya. The one who lives on taxes is Kshatriya. The one who lives on charity is Brahmana. And it is as per your nature. It's not high class, low class. No. Even a very erudite scholar can be a Shudra. Why? Because he executes a task and he gets a salary. Like I worked as a software engineer. So that means at that time I was working as a Shudra. Currently I'm acting as a Brahmana. Because I'm teaching, I'm educating. That's it. But when we give that specific knowledge to that person, and then that person becomes a master in that knowledge, the one who's a teacher should be taught and trained to become a very good teacher. The one who has nature to be an administrator should be taught and educated and trained to become a very good administrator. The one who is a business class person by nature, he should be given training in entrepreneurship, how to become a very good businessman, how to invest, how not to invest, the do's and don'ts and resource management and all that. That comes in Vaishya training. And Shudra, as per your nature, whether you want to be a coder, a programmer or whatever. So we see that what is your nature. And then when you give knowledge as per that, then you like to know. Then you like to learn. Like nowadays, sometimes, even though your nature is to be a commerce guy, but still you take science. I want to be engineer. Why? Or doctor, because my mom, dad are telling me. And to take science is good. To take commerce, to take arts, But no, you should take the branch of science as per your nature. And then you learn that particular branch of science. And then you like to learn. You would be there in the class. You would not bunk classes. Because you like to learn that particular branch of science. You like it. So we should choose our knowledge of branch of science as per our nature. Then we become masters in that knowledge. And ultimately we learn to serve everyone. A Brahmana is meant to educate. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. A Kshatriya is meant to protect. Whom? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. A Vaishya is supposed to do charity, money. For whom? For Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Shudra is meant to execute the task. For whom? For Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. That means everyone is serving everyone else. That means it is a very service-oriented society, not of high class or low class. This is high class and this is low class. Or Brahmana is a high class and Shudra is low class. No. It's about serving everyone together. Keeping God as center. That is Indian knowledge system. Keeping God as center. And that's why earlier we used to have all the sciences, but the center is God. When you learn law of karma, law of karma is explained, but how to actually overcome karma, that's why devotion to God, bhakti. So bhakti is also part of education system. So that we have people who come out of this institution who are spiritual as well. they have SQ, they have EQ, and they have IQ as well. That is Indian knowledge system. In holistically, if you see that it leads to growth, all-round growth of the person. Indian knowledge system. Currently, we are struggling to deduce the syllabus of it. What should be the syllabus? Where are the teachers? We are struggling for that. But in case we get back to our own original Indian knowledge system, believe me, this would be the best place to learn anything. Earlier, people all across the globe would come to Nalanda. They would come to Takshashila for learning. You know, when Khilji burned the library in Nalanda and Takshashila, for 3 months the library was burning. 3 months. So much was there in Indian knowledge system. He burned it all. Alauddin Khilji. So there has been invaders from outside India. They're coming and invading our knowledge system. But somehow we can get even some part of it also in our everyday life. Believe me, India would become #1. We are planning to become Vishwa Guru. How? Only by Indian knowledge system we can make India Vishwa Guru. Because it is very complete. The whole vibration, the whole apparatus is very conducive for acquiring knowledge. Intellectually, we are meant to acquire knowledge. So we should do this. And this way, those who are getting knowledge, they will be happy. Those who are giving knowledge, they will be happy. Entire society would be happy. Because what's the purpose of knowledge? To be happy. Have you heard of the term Satchidananda? Satchidananda. Sat means existence, eternal existence. Chit means knowledge. And Ananda means bliss. So Sat, Chit, Ananda. Existence, knowledge, bliss. What's the purpose of existence? Knowledge. And what's the purpose of knowledge? Bliss. Knowledge should make you happy. If you see current system, which is more inspired by Western education system, you see, more you acquire knowledge, more you are in stress, more you are in anxiety. They study and they are also having sutta party. Stress ho jata hai. So much stress, man. After doing PhD means permanent head damage. PhD. In this Western education system, more you do PhD, more people are like, now he's in different species of life. Human species is transcended now. But when we do PhD in Indian knowledge system, that would be so uplifting, Ashley. So we should know it, understand it, and also spread it. And I wish and I pray that in future, like this glorious university and many such universities, they would have Indian knowledge system. And then we'll have better human beings who are more kind, more forgiving, more loving, caring, with greater service attitude, who are devotees of the Supreme Lord, more prayerful. We want such civilization. But it will all come by Indian knowledge system. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Existence should lead to knowledge. And knowledge should lead to happiness. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.